Elementor, one of the best website builder out there, is very intuitive and very easy to use. But before we start using Elementor to build our pages, it's important to understand the interface and get an idea about it. So let's move forward and understand the Elementor interface. So are you ready? Let's go. So here we are on our WordPress admin dashboard. Let's go to pages, all pages, and open all pages. Now, the first thing that we need to do is just remove all these unnecessary pages from the website. So select all of them, move to trash and apply. Now we have removed all the unnecessary pages. Let's begin. So the first thing to do is click on add pages and let's create a page. Let's name this page home. Once you have done this, just click on publish. Click publish again. So now we have created the home page. Now you don't have to start building the page from here because this is using the Gutenberg website builder. You don't have to use this. This is the default WordPress builder. It's a little complicated and not very intuitive and visual. So the best way from here onwards is that after you have created a page and you have published it, you click on edit with Elementor. Now, when you do this, it will take you to the Elementor interface, and then we can use Elementor to build this page, to design this page. So now we have landed on the Elementor interface for this particular page. Don't get confused by so many options all over here. We'll go through all of them one by one so that you can easily understand which functionalities you need to use, which you can ignore, and what is the right way of using Elementor. So first of all, let's close this structure. I'll come back to it at a later stage when we start building the page. So let's just close it. Now here you can see that this is the Elementor canvas. Here you can drag and drop any of the elements which are present on the left side. Like for example, if you want to add a heading on this page, first we need to create a container by clicking like this. Select Flexbox. This is basically the direction in which the content will flow. So here the direction for this particular container will flow from top to bottom, and here it will flow from left to right. This particular container will have two separate columns in it with equal width. Here this particular structure will have two columns, but one column would be smaller in size and another one would be bigger. This one will have 4 columns, 3 columns. So like this, there are different structures that they provide you. The easiest thing to do is start with this particular structure. So we click on it. So now that we have placed a container here, we can drag elements into it. So just click on this plus button over here. And if I want to add heading into it, so I just drag heading. If I want to add something else, just click on this plus button, and now under the heading I want some text. So just drag this text editor and place it over here. We can change the direction also. Okay. So like this we can place any of the elements that we want. We want to add a picture here, an image. Just drag it over here. Right? So now since we chose this structure which had an arrow pointing towards right, you can see that all the content is placed one after another towards the right. So the heading is here, then next to it there is an image, then next to it there is text. So we can change the direction also. If we click over here, we don't want the direction to be towards the right horizontally, we can select this vertical direction also. Now the heading is on top, the image is after it, and then the text is under it. So you can change the direction anyway. But don't worry, don't get confused. I will show you the right way of arranging the elements so that they look good on your page. So I was just trying to show you that there are different elements that you can put over here on this page. So this is the Elementor canvas on which you are basically using the elements from here to build your website one section at a time. So let's close this. Let's remove this by just clicking this delete container option here. And now we are back to square one. Now let's go through things one by one. So we have already seen the canvas area, right? We can just click here to add a container, and then we can start adding elements into the container by clicking this plus button, and then we will start building our page. Now let's go to this left hand side tray here, right? Here you can see different elements available. So we have layouts, a container, a grid. This container is basically flex based. This is a grid. What it is something I'll explain to you while we start building the pages. Then these are the basic elements like headings, images, text, videos. So all these elements are available on the left hand side. Now you have pro elements here because we created a pro account. So we can create forms also, we can create portfolios, galleries. A lot of pro options are now available to us. So all these options you can see, right? There's so many different type of elements that we can use to build our pages on the canvas. Now this is the basic thing. Now let's move forward. This E symbol on the top left corner, when we click on it, a lot of things are hidden inside this particular setting. So when you click on this, you see different options like site setting, theme builder, notes, user preference, keyboard shortcodes, help center, my Elementor, and exit to WordPress. So let's go through them one by one. Site setting is where you do settings to your Elementor, which are then applied to all the pages that you create using Elementor, and you don't have to do them again and again. So under site settings, you have options like global color, global font, typography, buttons, images, form fields, site identity, background, layout, CSS, and additional settings. So you have to do these settings once before you start building your website, and once you have done this, then all of these options will be available to you while building your website. So let's go through them one by one. Global colors. Now, these are the default colors that come with your Elementor installation. Now, what global color does is that it gives you an option to set your primary, secondary, and other colors here. So once you do these settings, you can pick up these colors from anywhere in Elementor. So you can add more color options here by just clicking on add colors and then selecting the color that you want to put here, right? So like I can just drag and drop over here to select a particular color, or I can place the hex code of that color over here. So now this new color is also added to my global colors. If I want to change any primary color or secondary color, I can do that from here by either placing a hex code or dragging it over here in the color picker. So this is global colors. We will set global colors for our website when we start building the website. So for now, you just get an idea about where to set colors, which you can use throughout your website building. So the reason we use global colors is that when you are building a website, you want to build a brand that is recognized and there is some consistency throughout the brand, right? So to do that, you make sure that you select some brand colors and upload those brand colors over here. Now you will use the same brand colors on your website, on your social media, so that when your customers or visitors see those colors, they will recognize you and they will know that, okay, these are the colors of this particular brand, or there is some connection between all the content that you are creating on social media and your website. In the same way, you also set up your custom fonts which are specific to your brand. So when you go to global fonts, here you can add your primary, secondary, and text accent fonts. So I will show you how to upload custom fonts over here. Now you can just click on add styles and then edit, and you can add the font family that you have uploaded over here. You can just select whatever font family you have uploaded. So we'll do this entire process when we are actually building the pages. Typography helps you set up the typography. The button section helps you design your buttons in advance so that while you're building the website, your buttons automatically pick up the custom colors and size and shape that you define in the button section. Similarly, you will define the sizes of the images and all the images related setting over here. Your form fields will be designed from here. So you will pre-design the form fields so that you don't have to design every form whenever you add a form to any of the pages of your website. So in this section, once you create a design for your form, it will be automatically picked up throughout your website whenever you add a form. Site identity is where you input the site name, the site description, you upload the logo of your site and a favicon. These are also very important. So we will also go through one tutorial where we create and upload a logo for your brand or website and a favicon from the site setting. Next, background settings. So if you want to add a background to your website, it could be a texture, it could be an image, or it could be a video that is always there in the background. That is done from here. I normally avoid this because it actually puts a lot of load on the website, but if there is a standard background that you want to use throughout your website, then you can do that setting from here. Layout. Now this is another important setting. Here I make sure that my content width on all the pages is around 1180. So I set it by default to 1180. So all my pages would have 1180 pixels width of content area. The container padding, you should leave it to 0. The gaps can be left at 20 pixels. And coming down, page breaks. Now, what are page breaks? Now, like I explained to you in the previous video, when you're building a website, you want to make sure that it is mobile responsive. So if anybody opens the website on the desktop or a tablet or a mobile handset, it should look good. So the website has to change according to the device. So you can add, by default, Elementor gives a desktop, a portrait, and a tablet portrait, and a mobile portrait breakpoint. But you can add more breakpoints from here. A mobile in the landscape form, tablet in the landscape form, a laptop, a widescreen. So all of these can be set from here. For now, I will just leave it as is because I don't want to make it complicated for you and increase your work. So on this page, just make sure that your layout settings are set to 180 pixels. The container padding is set to 0. The gaps are set to 20, and you can just save. So now we are done with the site settings. Let's go back. So Lightbox, we will do these settings once we upload images and do the images setting. But just know that all these settings can be done from here. Page transition basically helps you set up any kind of animation when the user is moving from one page to another. So you must have seen that sometimes on some websites, when the user goes to the next page, a small logo is rotating or some animation is happening. So all that is done from here. It's better to avoid it because it's unnecessary creating a load on the website. Custom CSS. This is one section which is very, very useful. So you can build a normal website without using a custom CSS, but custom CSS gives you functionalities and capabilities which are beyond what Elementor gives you by default, and it makes things very easy. It reduces a lot of manual work for you. So for example, if you want to add spacing between containers and spacing between sections, you don't have to manually add spacing in pixels every time, because when you do that, you might add different spacings between different sections or containers, and it might not look good. So once you set up a default custom CSS for spacing, you just have to use a CSS class to set up spacing between all the sections. So it's very easy to use once you understand how it works. So I will take you through that also in the future tutorials. Then there are these additional settings which take you back to the main Elementor settings on your WP admin dashboard. So we have already done that in the previous video, so we can get back. So this was site settings. overview. So now we are back on the Elementor canvas area. Now this, we are done with this setting over here. Now next to it is add element option. So wherever you are, you can just click on this plus button to come to this area where you can, from where you can pick up different elements and place them on the Elementor canvas and build your website. So next to it is this page setting option. Now page setting actually lets you do some basic settings for that particular page. For example, this page title is home, the status is published. We can move this to private or draft or pending review from here. The other important thing that we can do from here is that we can hide this title home that is visible. I don't want the title of every page to be visible on top of the page. It just looks unnecessary, right? You can just move this to yes, and now the title is removed from here. People, when they come to home page, they know that they are on the home page, so you don't have to show the name of the page over here, right? So this is that setting. Now this next option is history. This is a very useful option because if you when you're building your website, you might end up making some mistake and you do not know how to get back. Now this is the place from where you can get back to a place where you had not made that mistake. So for now it's just showing this one option because this is the only change that I made while recording this video. But let's go back and do some more changes. Say I add, first of all, let's create a container over here, horizontal. Now click on this plus button to add an element. I've added a heading over here. Now you can go back to history and see these are the changes that I've made. I basically, first of all, I had hidden the page title, then I added a container. Now I've added a heading, but I made a mistake somewhere here, assuming, right? So I don't want to basically have these two options over here, and I can just go back to this area where I had just hidden the page title, and that's it. The Elementor has basically taken me back to that times where I had not edited and added the container and a heading. So any changes I make from here will start from this area. I can also go back to the time when I had added the heading. So now I'm back here. So if you make any mistakes and you had not published those changes yet, you can find those revisions, those actions over here in the history, and you can always go back, right? This helps you, this will enable you to make any corrections that you want to make. Now, since I want this heading to be here, we can just click on publish, right? Now moving on, here we see home, right? This is the name of this page. From here, I can add another page. I can create one more page, contact us or anything else, right? This option helps us do that. Now, you also see these three options over here: desktop, tablet portrait, and mobile portrait. Now these particular options help us see the website on different screen size. So while we are building the website, we can see that how the website is looking on different screen size. So right now we can see it on desktop. If I click on tablet portrait, the screen size will change, and now you can see how it's looking on a tablet in the portrait mode. Now you can see that how it is looking on a mobile phone. So we can make changes to this website while we are building it by looking at it in different screen size, and we can modify the website to look good on all screen size. Now that's the utility of these options over here. Moving on the right hand side you see this option which is structure. So when you click on it, it will show you a structure of your page. So right now you know that we added a container, so we can see a container over here. Inside the container we had added a heading, so we can see a heading over here. Now let's do something, let's add something else. Now if I add an image, I will see that now an image is added over here. So the structure helps us see the entire structure of the page, and we can make changes using that bar. So say for example I add one more section, and now in this section I'm adding some text and maybe a button, right? It's giving me some problems here. So I have added a button. So here on the right hand side, you can see that I have added one more container, and inside that container there are these buttons. Now I can even move this button from here to the previous container also, and that button is now visible in the previous container. Don't worry about the layout right now. I'm just giving you a higher idea, a high level idea. We will actually design the page properly. Right now I have not added any spacing between different elements, the spacing between containers, even the alignment is not right, but this is just to give you an idea about how these different options work. So here you will see the entire structure of your page, and you can just move things up and down and get a better idea of what you're building and how you're building. So that's the use of this option. Now finally, if you have made any changes to the website, you can, and you want to see how it's looking on the real website, you can just click on this preview changes button. And what that does is that it opens this page in a new browser window, and you can see how it's looking in the browser. So you don't see the sidebar, you don't see anything else, you just see this page and how it's looking. And the final option here is this publish option, or you can even save this page as a draft. If you're not still happy with it, you can actually save it as a draft and come back and make changes to it. And once you're ready, you can publish the page. Or if you like a page so much and you want to use multiple times, you can actually save it as a template. But for now, let's just publish this page, and that's it. So your page is ready. So this is how easy Elementor is. All the options are very intuitive and easy to understand. So that was an overview of the Elementor interface. It's very intuitive. It's just that in the beginning it looks overwhelming because there are so many options available on the page and you don't know where to start from. So don't worry. I have added all the screenshots of everything that I have done in this tutorial through the link in the description. So you can just click on that link and go through all the images, all the screenshots with the steps to follow. You can go through that and you can understand at your own pace. Once you do that, you will get an understanding of the interface. And once you understand the interface, Elementor will not be scary for you. So in the upcoming videos, we'll understand more about the elements that Elementor offers to you and what you can do with those elements. So I will see you in the next one. Have a nice day.